Please. Oh my God. One, two, three, four, five. You see I think that's the crazy lady. She right on there. See? See? That's the crazy lady. Roll down. 666, she's evil. See? She's evil. Here's another one. My God. Maybe we need to bring some water to clean up it. Right?
I got water right here.
I'm going to take the board, build up the wall. I need to build up the wall. She will come tonight.
I thought he said he was just putting like a table back there, but that's not the case.
After this comes on, I'll be right behind.
Okay. Absolutely. What do we lose? Right, no, it's about what you told me last night. It's right there. You have the asphalt. Yeah, the light.
y'all miss me? Hi, Floyd.
See, I think. To make it sing.
Hi, Dirty Rotten.
I mean, I could be wrong, but
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go offline.
it so
for a
rarely
second.
ever
Yeah,
happens.
there's nothing wrong. I just have to fix something. I'll be right back. I swear I did
Look at all the
that.
beautiful new growth on that tree.
Ah.
How are you?
Yeah.
Right?
There we go. There we go. Now I can see. Oliver.
He's just responding.
It's the Bark Brigade. What they call it, the 101 Dalmatian.
Good.
Yeah, got a door.
Day by day, week by week.
Brian said he watched 3 hours.
Sorry. That flag, I'm gonna write a song maybe called I've been slapped by the flag many times.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Mr. Roger, good to see you.
You too, my friend.
I'm better off when I see you. Right?
Yeah. Mine is better that you're here. Better now that you're here.
How are you?
So,
Hey now, hey now. Oliver, look at this.
Oliver loves me. He loves me.
He's like, how dare you? Hush. 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 Mom, he jumped at me.
Hush.
I want
Hush.
to get him. Go get him.
Hush. I eat grass.
How's my favorite Patriot?
Oh, not too well right now.
You know?
My internet's not working very well, and I already got kicked off
You
one.
see
And he'll
how
go
he-
get him.
Yeah,
It
I
got
can see
better
him
now,
protecting
too,
me in the
guys.
dark alleyway.
Oh, it got better since you're here.
I get it nervous.
Are we back now? I knew the internet's gonna be going bad. Trying to fix it.
Just trying to lasso his snow.
It's not working well.
Tell all this everything. Oh, I almost got it.
Oh, wow.
Never a cat
Nice.
for being called up to Tom.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I made a hat to a woman and she donated this to me.
Oh, it looks so pretty.
Yeah, she donated that to me. Thank you so much.
Tight, but you know, like,
It'll loosen up.
exactly.
Hey, yeah, you have a nice haircut, so I can make you
Hopefully it's coming back
welcome.
down to 800. But I got a new little
What is
thing
that?
that Angelina gave me.
Wokeness.
A little keychain kind of looking thing.
Oh, it's just
Got rain
a quote, right?
And we have an internet problem.
Hey,
Come back on as soon as possible.
Today,
I would write today.
but I'm not. I
No, I saw you.
get okay.
And you're a comment. That's why I wanted it.
Okay.
That's awesome.
You missed my flag.
About coming. I mean, they're not, but it would have been.
So we'll have to see what's going on here, folks. It's going on and on.
Right. We don't invite him here.
Oh, why?
He is
Sometimes
not
it
to be
comes
here.
No, but
Well, I'm kicked off already once. Well, that's not saying it's unstable in there.
oh, right. Yeah, I
Yeah, I was hoping to just let it be.
Yeah. Wow.
I got the sum up from
Wow.
in hers.
I'm shocked.
I'm not. I'm not.
Really?
He's from out.
Yeah.
Then he's nothing to drink or all kinds of shit, yeah.
Oh, hey, you got a nice sweater on. Well,
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to do. Move off this. But, you know what? Usually when I stand down there,
Oh, of course. Of course there is.
Maybe it's a camera. I was just...
Good luck with the video. Same video that came out about us.
Oh, right, yeah.
Red shows up here, right?
Well, and people were saying, like,
We're still by a camera.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So, Sherry,
Yeah.
I don't want to get Sarah back in visitation.
Travel for people that already have that plan. Okay. So scheduling it is a whole different thing. And for locals, it's a whole different process.
And she has a full-time job and does the other thing. So I really don't know what we're going to do. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. Justin's on hiatus. And nobody knows what the hiatus.
always said I was born on the wild side. I guess mama was right. 'Cause when the clock strikes midnight, gonna ride the lightning, feel the thunder, feel the darkness pulls me under. Gonna fly on wings of fire, breathing good Lord lifts me higher, singing oh when they call me home, singing oh when they call me home. Gonna ride the lightning.
I was in a Ranger.
There's a man in a black coupe standing at a crossroad.
David, do a mic check. Turn the volume all the way
With a
up.
pen in his hand and a long list of lost.
It's a little too loud right now.
That sounds good now.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
There's a man in a black coupe standing at a crossroad.
Whoa, Lala, you did a really great job.
I hope
Thank
he lets
you.
me pass by. When I close my eyes, I'm gonna ride the lightning, feel the thunder, till the darkness pulls me under. Gonna fly on wings of fire, breathing good Lord lifts me higher, singing
I
oh,
need you to say, like literally say mic check 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 a few times.
singing oh,
We already got it set.
gonna ride the
Raj, who is the guy come?
Hmm?
The guy? Who's the guy?
I don't remember his name, but he's been here a few times.
Just make sure
Guy
you
was
pick up
talking to me about my stream.
I'm gonna ride the lightning, feel the thunder, till the darkness pulls me under.
I'll let you
Gonna
guys
fly
see.
on wings of fire, breathing good Lord lifts me higher, singing oh when they call me home, singing oh when they call me home.
Hi.
Gonna ride the lightning.
It's fuzzy.
Fuzzy. Mama Jean and Debbie, yes. And yeah, if they, Mama Jean, okay, here.
I'm not sleeping there. There ain't no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle jangle
Hi. Yeah.
take me for a trip upon your magic swirling ship.
Testing. That sound better?
And my hands can't feel to grip, and my toes too numb to step. Wait only for my wheels to be wandering. I'm ready to go anywhere. I'm ready for anything. Onto my own parade. Cast your dancing spell my way. I promise to go.
Thank you, Mama Jean.
I'm not sleeping yet. There ain't no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle jangle morning, I'll come following you.
Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Troublemaker. Welcome.
Or press 1. To prevent calls from this facility, press 9. Hello. This is a prepaid debit call from an inmate of Pinellas County Jail. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse, you are receiving a call from the Pinellas County Jail that is subject to monitoring and recording. If you are an attorney and do not wish to have your communications recorded, please disconnect from this call and visit the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office website for further instruction.
Hold on, let me see.
To accept these terms and complete this call, press 1 after the
I
tone.
did, but it doesn't work. Looks like. Okay, that's good.
You are receiving
It
a
works.
call from the Pinellas County Jail that is subject to monitoring and recording. If you are an attorney and do not wish to have your communications recorded, please disconnect from this call and visit the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office website for further instruction. To accept these terms and complete this call, press 1 after the tone. Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, David. Is this David?
Yeah, this is David. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great. We just got everything set up. You called just in time. How's that sound on your end?
That's great.
Oh, we try to be plus or minus 30 seconds anywhere in the world. So.
Right.
How's it going, Jeremy?
How is everybody tonight?
Good. This is Mickey. How are you doing?
Hey, Mickey. How are you?
I'm okay. We heard about your sentencing. Tylene let me know what happened. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like a lot is coming out. So that's kind of what I want to talk about tonight. So.
All right. Well, everybody on live streams watching and the people out here on Freedom Corner are listening. So go ahead. Tell us what you want to tell us.
All right. Well, awesome. So what I want to do first is I want to talk about a letter that I recently received, and then I would like to read for you my statement that I read at sentencing, and then if we have time, if there's not other people that want to speak, I'll be more than happy to take questions, or if David has something else lined up, then I can certainly go back to my activities here in the pod. But so let me get started with a letter that I recently received. So I get so many letters of support, and I often feel guilty for not being able to respond to them. But they are all read. They all mean the world to me. I want to use this one, my topical introduction for tonight. You see, I have many heroes that are being made as we speak. And one of those heroes is Lori Creed. In a recent letter that she wrote on April 6th, the day before my sentencing, she added some of these thoughts. And so I'd like to share them tonight. She writes, I don't often write much about how I feel things are going up here because I know they are so much worse for you all on the inside. However, I suppose it might be helpful to hear the kind of things that go through other people's minds, which in this case happens to be mine. Well, there's lots of uncertainty about just about everything. It's hard to tell who's telling the truth, who is lying for personal gain, and who is lying due to what someone considers a psyop. She goes on, sometimes when I'm trying hard, very hard, to do something, to get this or that accomplished, I ask myself if the thing that I'm doing is worth my time. I ask myself if anything I've ever done has made a lasting difference. I re-examine my motives repeatedly in a vigorous effort to confirm that I'm doing whatever it is I'm doing for the right reason. I dance with the idea of surrendering over and over again, following one or another disappointment. And you know what has come to my mind? The game of musical chairs. Do you remember it? It's one of the first games we've learned to play as children. You know, music is played while children walk around a set of chairs, which is one less in number than the amount of kids playing the game. Then the music is turned off and the kids scramble to find a seat. The person left with no seat is removed from the game, and the cycle repeats itself until only one child is left with a chair to sit in, and he or she is declared the winner. I've thought about that game, and I've asked myself where I want to be when the music stops. Do I really want to be sitting? That's not being active in life. Like being complacent. It's like not engaging in God's great plan for humanity. And I've decided, if I may question myself a ton, or I might feel like giving up a few hundred times a day, exaggeration here, smiley face, I'll keep going and trying and doing because that's what I want to be doing when the music stops. She concludes the letter with this. I thought a lot about the objective of the game called musical chairs, and I've decided that I want to be left standing, not sitting. I want to be loving God and speaking up for what I believe in, doing what I feel is right. God has brought a verse to my mind as I've considered all of this, these not good things that are happening in our world. Found in Romans 12, verse 21, it says, do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. I believe, and that's science, Lord. I believe music chairs is a fitting analogy for what they are trying to do to us. Make us all focus on our own selfish interests. Let me explain. They have illegally held us in jail to break us, and many have. Then they want us to grovel for their mercy, denounce our belief, and many have. With each of these stories of Americans saying what the government wants, my heart breaks. But I do not blame them. They are simply trying to save themselves, get less time, and go home to their families. I will never harbor resentment for them because I know how they have been used. Tonight, I want to read to you my sentencing statement because, like Glory Creed has also decided, when the music stops, I too will be standing. Courage is contagious, and we must show the American people what it looks like and sounds like. This is my offering. Read Good Friday, April 7th, 2023. So this is the statement that I read for the judge in federal court. I would like to thank everyone for coming and showing their support for me and my family. I would also like to thank you, Judge Buckley, for the opportunity to speak. I directed Mr. Peterman, my attorney, not to review or limit any of the speakers because I believe in free speech. The greatest dangers to liberty lurk in the insidious encroachments by men of zeal, well-meaning, but without understanding. Supreme Court Justice Louis Brandeis, from the dissent, Oxford versus United States, a Fourth Amendment case from 1928. It was later corrected a mere 39 years later. As early as I can remember, I knew I was going to be a soldier. It was never in doubt, and only one person ever came close to changing my path, Tom Cruise as Maverick. He almost tricked me into becoming a naval aviator in the 8th grade. My girlfriend has dated both a Green Beret and a Blue Angel, and I hope her testimony would be that I won, so I made the right choice. At age 14, moved away from my mother to live with my grandfather, World War II veteran in the Navy, because the high school in his town offered Navy Junior ROTC. In just 3 years, I achieved what was designed to take 4 years. I was promoted to the commander of the entire program. At age 17, with my mother's permission and signature, I enlisted in the United States Army Blade Entry Program. On October 27, 1992, I left my small hometown of less than 5,000 people to join the United States Army and never looked back. I passed infantry school, airborne school, then tried out for and was selected to the 1st Ranger Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment, the Army's most elite infantry unit and part of the Special Operations community. In less than 3 years, I was promoted to the Non-Commissioned Officers Corps as a sergeant and Ranger Rifle Team Leader. Less than a year later, I had attended Special Forces Assessment Selection and was selected as a Special Forces Weapons Sergeant and had begun training to become one of the world's most legendary warriors, a Green Beret. In July of 1997, at the age of 22, I was on my first Special Forces Operational Detachment Alpha, or SFODA. At that time, I was the second youngest Green Beret in the entire force. My friend and Special Forces and Ranger brother, Sergeant Major Scott Olson, was the youngest. By 1998, I was in my first classified war zone in a country that doesn't even appear on my official military record. By May of 2007, I had progressed within Special Forces from an E5 Sergeant to an E8 Master Sergeant, or a Team Sergeant. On a 12-man Special Forces team, there is only one Master Sergeant. During my 20-year Special Operations career, I spent a quarter of it at my highest rank, a rank less than 10% of all Green Berets ever achieved. I took my life's mission and my sworn oath to this nation extremely serious, and to this very day, I still do. In this trial, complete strangers that know nothing about me or my service have attempted to tarnish that service with mischaracterizations and flat-out lies. But my service cannot be tarnished by lesser men. The written records of that service have been provided to you to examine. 20 years of quantifiable accomplishments on behalf of this nation, recorded in evaluation reports and combat award narratives, written by Rangers and Army Green Berets who led me, lived in shitholes with me, fought, bled, and cried beside me, and unfortunately, sometimes mourned our fallen brother with me. These are the men that 16 out of 17 times signed their names to evaluations that identified my service as among the best in an elite force that makes up less than 1% of the U.S. military. But my leaders aren't the only ones with these observations. One of my soldiers became an investigative journalist and New York Times best-selling author. Jack Murphy, the Winmore, Murphy Law, published in 2019, wrote this, page 259. Something else I've grown to appreciate over the years is the leadership I've worked under in the Ranger Battalion and Special Forces. In my work as a journalist, I've uncovered the dark side of the military enough times to become cynical. I have fallen from the special faith that exists between a soldier and his army. I no longer believe. However, when I look back at Squad Leader Ken, Platoon Sergeant Van Ice, ODA Team Leader Marcus, and Team Sergeant Jeremy, I realize how incredibly fortunate it was to have ethical leaders. At the time, they may have come across as strong or even harsh, but they were fair, made sure I stayed on the right path. Now that I've seen what it looks like, soldiers are left unsupervised and unaccountable, I appreciate these men even more. This is what the men I've served with know about me. These prosecutors have made false claims to this court that are easily proven false. They have repeated several times that I was barred for enlistment. Yet this can be proven wrong by simply looking at the official records of my separation, my DD-214. In Block 18, it clearly states, subject to active duty recall by the Secretary of the Army. In Blocks 23 through 28, it cites Army Regulation 635-200, Chapter 12. It shows I honorably retired with the separation code of RBD and the reentry code of 4R. These are the same codes on Sergeant Major Retired Olson's and Lieutenant Colonel Retired Becky's DD-214s, which means sufficient service for retirement, and that I cannot re-enter because I have retired. There are numerous codes that can be found in AR 635-200 that detail many reasons for separation and barring re-entry. I have none of these codes. I am honorably retired. There is nothing honorable about the Department of Justice's fraud on this court and the American people.
Right.
Your Honor, this is not the only fraud they have committed on the court. They have intentionally played a partial phone call that was cut off 2 minutes into my girlfriend's weary description of the prior day's events. With this incomplete conversation, they told the jury my silence was an admission of guilt. This was a malicious trick because they knew through many attempts I found a good sign and completed a full 25-minute call that this Department of Justice has hid from the jury. In that call, you'll hear me calm because the love of my life was exhausted and afraid. You hear me clearly respond once she finished her full description that their story was, quote, bullshit. One more tiny detail. I own numerous legally purchased both and airsoft grenades. So the term grenade used by the girlfriend of a retired Green Beret does not faze me or cause a reaction. The information, the full call, that there were live M67 fragmentation grenades that needed to be detonated received my appropriate response. Quote, that's bullshit. Lastly, the pre-trial effort to distance this case from any testimony about January 6th and the illegal recruitment of me prior to January 6th, and at best, the FBI's prior knowledge of the events of January 6th, and at worst, direct involvement in the command and control of those events. Yet now, when there are no rules of evidence or chance to cross-examine their claims, they proclaim it was always about January 6th. This is nothing more than legal system, bait, and switch. Judge Buckley, you and I have taken the same oath, support and defend the same Constitution, and the same rights and liberties it protects. And we've taken this oath for very likely in reasons to secure the blessings of liberty for ourselves and our children. You and I both have children we love that have chosen lifestyles that some people and some laws have not agreed with. You took a stand against the state law because you believed it violated your child's liberty. But now that law is no more. I applaud your stand for liberty. I am making a stand right now against the FBI's violations of everyone's liberty in hopes of stopping these insidious encroachments upon mine and my children's rights. And they have targeted me, arrested me, and are seeking to destroy me. The truth will come out. It's coming out more and more each day. When it does, the questions will be, who knew and when did they know? Judge Buckley, these prosecutors have attempted to deceive you and the jury with enough success to secure a flawed conviction. Now, they are hoping you don't understand what this trial is a part of, or the reason for this malicious persecution. But if you give me a chance by giving me a sentence of time served, I will not rest until the truth is fully exposed. Today is my 555th day in jail, 482 of which I was held in maximum security. But with a sentence of time served, it will free me to continue to expose the truth, to correct this false conviction through the appellate process, to uphold our oath to support and defend the Constitution of this great nation. I pledge to you my life, my fortune, and my sacred honor, that when the final story of this chapter in our nation's history is written, you will be proud that your judgment will have been the tipping point towards justice. Thank you for this opportunity to speak on the record and to be heard by the American people. It has actually been a pleasure and an honor to work with you in this case. Be oppressively there, and may God bless and restore the United States of America. The judge's response to that was that I have accepted no responsibility and that I have remained defiant until the end. Well, I say that is a badge of honor that I will wear until the end. And so tonight, I want everyone to know that courage is contagious, and that if we show people how to stand up to these tyrants, and if we expose the truth to the people, and we show them that it's okay to say no, that it's okay to question the authorities that is being foisted upon us, well, then they too can stand up. And believe it or not, we can actually win this. And so I appreciate everybody listening to me. David, if anyone wants to ask questions, I'm open, or if you have additional speakers, I can certainly go as well.
Well, that was an amazing letter, and you know, when you said that you'd pledge your life to get to the bottom of this, I believe that's what they're afraid of. So we do applaud your courage. You know, we had a juror the other day in one of the jury selections that said that she participated in the events of January 6th, and the judge was just appalled. But I do applaud her courage for standing up and saying so, as we all applaud your courage for standing up and remaining faithful to your convictions. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody on live stream have any questions?
Anybody else have any questions? All right, we got a dead bunch tonight. Hold on, I think I got one coming. I think I got one coming.
Hi, I'm just curious, like, when you come to DC for your Jan 6 charges, are these charges going to be concurrent or consecutive? When you...
We don't know yet, because really what they've tried to do is add me to the much larger. But current, I have still only faced 2 misdemeanor charges because I was convicted of the max code. Each of them only carry a maximum in a year, which I've already served 18 months. So that I'm already time served. If the DOJ had any level of intelligence, they would simply dismiss those charges in order to avoid me being put on the stand again. But I'm hoping that they don't do that, because I'll take every opportunity I can to speak on the official record.
Good for you. And, you know, patriots like you, you know, it's why we're out here on the corner. Quite honestly, you know, you put up such a great fight, and you're such a great patriot, and I do appreciate your service to this country, and I just hope that we can do you any honor by making sure there's as much awareness out there, you know, about Jan 6 and your case also as we can get. Does anyone have any questions?
I want to know if they'll run again if he gets out.
They want to know, will you run again when you get out?
Well, actually, don't tell anybody.
Okay, it's a secret.
We're in talks to actually possibly run for the sheriff of Hillsborough County.
Oh, right. We need some good sheriffs out there.
So, just between you, me, and the FBI listening to this phone call, we are exploring the prerequisites to see what would be required, what the timelines are, because, see, we've already filed our motion, a notice of appeal. And so if the appeal goes through for any deadlines, well, then I will technically not be a felon and therefore fully eligible to run, regardless of what they try to do to me. So it's something that we're exploring right now, because you're absolutely right. We need sheriffs that aren't afraid to exercise their constitutional authority.
Right.
They know you're not going to do that simply because you have a wooden breaker with gold letters on it.
That's absolutely right. You know, the sheriffs are such important people, and, you know, that is something that we've really, we've learned. I've learned more about that since being involved in Jan 6 than some other things, but, you know, it is very important on who is sitting as your sheriff. So, you know, people need to be more educated, and I know you've done a really great job down there. Do we have any more questions?
What? Has he had any local representatives?
Has anyone
visit them in prison.
You have.
Oh, have you had any of your local representatives or anything visit you while you've been detained?
Actually, I have had a congressman, U.S. Congressman Gus Bilirakis, has personally visited me here at the jail. And Representative Scott Franklin's office have also visited me, as well as I've had letters of leniency written by Anna Paulina Luna,
All right.
the district, and State Rep Bernie Jacques.
Okay.
So we are in talks with other congressmen and other representatives, and hopefully they will come and actually sit down and hear what I have to say face to face, because there is a lot to it that can't always be squeezed in a short phone call. But I can call back if you want, or we can wrap up now. I'm free to do whatever you guys want. We're about to get on.
Okay. Yeah, we would love to hear from you, and so why don't you call us right back?
Okay, I certainly.
Thank you for using Global Telling.
Can you pray for us, please? Can I pray from here?
No, there's a prayer real quick, guys. He's going to be calling back shortly. So we'll get a prayer in.
Lord, we come to you right now, and you said wherever 2 or 3 people are gathered in your name, that you would be there, Lord. It's great to be together, but we're most of all excited today because you showed up. And you said if those same 2 or 3 of us would ask you for anything, that you would do it, and you would answer us. So tonight, we meet your conditions, and we ask for your help, Lord. We ask you for a miracle tonight, Lord. We stand against all the power of the enemy, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. And we're reminded once again, greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Give us victory, Lord. And we pray especially, Lord, for encouragement and blessing to those a short distance away from us. May they feel your presence, may they feel the honor, and may they share the faith that the great heroes of the past shared as well. The great saints that went through many of the same situations, Lord. May they take courage in that. Amen.
Hello. This is a prepaid debit call from
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You are receiving a call from the Pinellas County Jail that is subject to monitoring and recording. If you are an attorney and do not wish to have your communications recorded, please disconnect from this call and visit the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office website for further instructions. To accept these terms and complete this call, press 1 after the tone. Thank you for using Global Telling.
Can you hear me? Hello? 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 Can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can. We have
Okay,
connection.
okay.
It was a hot second, but we got it. Sorry about that. You know, we are on a corner.
Look, this is the least of the technical difficulties that I've experienced over the last 18 months.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. How was your experience, you know, trying to have access to your discovery and everything as far as your charges there in Florida?
Well, of course, it was a nightmare. I mean, the government is excellent at dragging things out, but then all of a sudden, right before trial, they drop on you last minute. Can't possibly get through. They try all kinds of tricks, like give you a bit of people that you really see their respect. You're going, what could these people possibly have to say about this trial? So, look, I mean, it's a dirty game, but like they're very good at it. The problem is that they have played with it for so long that they have been quite sloppy, and so they quite a few opportunities to capitalize on it. One of those opportunities is to be able to pull all of these mistakes they've made, because there's been quite a bit of interest in the case now post-sentencing, and so a lot of interviews that aren't necessarily live interviews that are streamed or anything, but actually meeting and speaking to investigators during the the documentary, that. So my main goal is, since the very beginning, to expose the truth what's going on, regardless of the outcome of the trial, to use the trial as an opportunity to block the government in their false narrative.
Right.
Because it's hard to change their lives now that they're all locked in. Now that their lives are, we can start hammering all the truth we've put back on.
Right. You know, we're a year on in these Jan 6 trials now, and I do feel like that the lawyers, the defendants, everyone's learned a lot over the last year, you know, but it is so difficult because they control the narrative, and there's, you know, it's the sheer might of the United States government. So, you know, and you have all of those entities that work within them, the media and everything. So it is so hard to, you know, really get in there and try to change the narrative. But, you know, you're right. At this point, they've been talking for so long that now we can just start pointing out their lies over and over again.
Well, that's right. And they rely on the fact that the American people aren't going to read a pre-trial transcript.
Right, right.
They're not going to compare a Proud Boy case to an Oath Keeper case, or a case that they claim isn't an Oath Keeper case, except when it benefits them in the narrative. It's kind of what my situation is, right?
Right.
One day I am part of Oath Keepers, and the next day I'm not. It all depends on what benefits them the most. And so the problem is that there are transcripts. And so our job as the irate and tireless minority that Thomas Jefferson spoke about, to take these transcripts, pick out every single nuance and detail, and then give it to the American people and tell them that, hey, who cares who the masked singer is? We want to know who the masked man on January 6th was.
That's exactly right. You know, today I was sitting in, Chris Alberts is on trial right now, and I was sitting in on his trial. And, you know, trial after trial, they do this thing, they play the same compilation video the government does. It's approved by all the judges. No kidding. I mean, I've seen it, so many times. You know, and so much of the video has absolutely nothing to do with the defendant. And they've chosen like all these extremely inflammatory scenes of the day. And, you know, they flash this in front of this DC jury. And, you know, like Chris Alberts never went in, but yet they're showing video of what happened in the crypt, and they're showing, you know, all these different things, and it's not even relevant. But, you know, the government gets away with it. So.
Well, yeah, because they write the rules of federal criminal procedure, right?
Yes, they do. You know, and the language is very important, you know, but it's as if they're starting the narrative with all these explosive scenes. And the reason the judge even lets it in is because he believes that it is the mental state of the mob, is how I've heard it referred to.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't
But
that
an
crazy?
interesting thing in my case, after 439 days in jail, the day before the trial that had been continued 2 months from the original trial date, the government filed a motion to exclude the audio recording of them to recruit me prior to January 6th. And then in that hearing, they say, I mean, it's not that we think this recording is damaging, because we don't. But we don't, it should be entered in, right?
Right.
And the judge didn't exclude it because she said, well, we're not going to rule on it. Let's wait and see if January 6th comes up. Let's see if it's going to be an issue. That's a little game that they know that of January 6th, because one, they said over and over again how damaging it would be against me, biased jury, because people have strong feelings about January 6th. Well, yeah, they have feelings because you've been lying to them for 2 years now.
Exactly.
They basically intimidate my defense attorney into not bringing it up. I wanted to bring it up. I told many. And I've done hundreds of interviews saying that my entire intention at trial was to bring it up. But that's how they manipulate the narrative. Okay? We adapt and overcome. Now, they're on the record not bringing it up.
Right.
Right? It just convicted me of 6 federal charges without bringing up January 6th. But yet in sentencing now, it's all about January 6th. Well, which is it, fellas? You can't be both. And so this is exactly what I mean by, that's fine. Go ahead and lie now, but now that it's over, they can't lie anymore. And so I can release the scripts, I can release the documents, I can release recordings, and they're not going to be able to change your story because now they've locked in.
Amazing. I bet you can't wait to see their faces. I know I can't.
I imagine them in my mind.
I know. I bet you do. You know, sometimes it's so hard. You know, when you're sitting there, and I understand, and I get it on a different level, obviously. But you know, you just want to scream out so much when the defendants are in court. You know, because you know that they are using video, that they're either not going to allow the audio because they know the audio is going to have something in it. Just like you said, they did that in Christopher Albert's trial today. I mean, just today. It's not the first time I've seen it, where Christopher Albert's in the video is actually backing off a protester from yelling at a cop. But in the audio, you can hear him say, "Hey man, we're not here for this," or something like that. And, you know, just like you said, the government comes up with this legality, and the judge rules, yes, we can watch the video, but not the audio. You know, so... Well,
and the objection should be based on the rule of completeness. And yet these defense attorneys, and I obviously can't follow all of them, but it does not seem to me that the defense attorneys in most of these cases are willing to stand up and advocate on behalf of their client. Certainly are not advocating on behalf of the law as pertains to the United States Constitution, because what they rely on are rules and procedures and laws that aren't laws, because the only laws that are valid are those that are in pursuant to the Constitution itself.
Right.
And so, but attorneys, they make their money off the system, and they certainly don't want to disrupt the system. And so, the best that we can do is become our own attorneys, right? I tell here, I say, look, I direct my defense. Okay, I have a Sixth Amendment right to the assistance of counsel. It does not mean that I give them control of my case itself. And so we have to, as defendants, realize what the attorney's role is, and if they're not doing what we've asked them to do based on our own research of the law, because it's words, they're in English, they mean things, it's not that complicated.
Right.
All you have to do is read the law, understand it, and then say, why aren't you doing this? I have a copy of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure right here, and a copy of the Federal Rules of Evidence. And so when I get this feeling like my attorney's not doing something, I research it myself. And then I use that because, see, there are other steps that can be taken. You have the appellate process, and I think it's U.S. Code 20, Title 26, Section 2255, that you can file against attorneys for ineffective counsel. And there's lots of different steps that we have to educate ourselves. But they make the system complicated because they don't want us to know. Right? The Bible says that my people die from lack of knowledge. They know what we don't know, so they use it against us. So we have to combat that by learning.
Well said. Yeah, we have a lot of people that have had to be their own advocates, but you're certainly good at it, so we appreciate that. I also appreciate the fact the very first interview I saw you did with an orange sign over your shoulder that said her name was Ashley Babbitt, so I love you always for that.
Well, and that's what we have to do, right? We have to remember their names. We have to remember what this is all about, really. And, you know, and I get it. Like I said, in talking about Lori's message, I mean, I read these stories in the Wall Street Journal about so-and-so said that they are sad that they got involved in the mob mentality, that they don't want to be involved in politics anymore. See, this is exactly what they want. They want us to bow. They want us to bend the knee like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. But see, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego told King Nebuchadnezzar, I will not bow to you because my God will save me. But even if he doesn't save me and you throw me in the fire, I'm still not going to bow to you. And that really is the resistance mentality that the forefathers had against King George. And that they said, we're not going to live under your tyranny anymore. We're going to resist. And that's what we have to do. Peacefully, right? We have to resist at every turn. Because, see, non-compliance is what they really, really hate.
Yeah, they've tested us with that for sure. Hey, one of our live stream viewers wants to know if you were ever able to locate the woman whose life you saved on January 6th.
I have not been able to, or have not heard of anybody that's been able to locate her. I mean, I would love to meet her someday, and I would love even more for her to say that, hey, this is what they did to me, right? She probably has no idea who I am because her eyes were literally swollen shut from the point and pepper spray that she got. But you know, someday maybe we will link up. But you know, I thought it was interesting in the Epoch Times that one of the little blurbs of their inside front page was that in a recent review of Metropolitan undercover police footage, that they counted 40 use of ballistic munitions, and these would be like smoke grenades or flashbang grenades in a single hour. 40 discharges. And just what's on camera. Imagine what isn't on camera. And you talk about the replay of the same video. That's all staged. It's all intentional, right? Somebody once said that if you want people to believe a lie, you have to say it loud enough and over and over again, right? And that's exactly what they do. Those that are very selective. But see, that's why they hide the other 44,000 hours of video. Because it's going to totally contradict their entire narrative.
Yeah, well, I think the same video Nicole's talking about they show for the opening of trials is when we went to the, when the congressional members came here to the DC jail, they had a video truck that was somebody paid to be, very pricey too, to be out in front of the press conference showing the probably the same video with people's reaction to what was happening that day. So I think it's the same loop, but it did play on like a 5-minute loop over and over again.
Of course, but they don't want to show all the peaceful video or any of the others. They don't want to show the president's comments saying peacefully go. And you know what they also don't want to show is the approved permit issued by the District of Columbia for the free speech event on Capitol grounds. So they don't want you to see those because then that kind of doesn't go along with their narrative that people were trespassing. Because I certainly wasn't trespassing. I showed up exactly where I was supposed to show up, according to somebody that was supposed to be at the event. So I guess we'll see when it goes to trial.
I hope we're able to see something when it goes to trial. Do we have another question? Live stream viewers want to know if there's anything they can do to help you.
Well, it's always the same things. Continue to speak out. Continue to seek for truth, right? Continue to let other people know. You know, wake up your neighbors to your left and right. Go out there, shake a hand, and actually have a conversation. Sure, social media is great, but what's better is a smile and a conversation about your kids and about this country, and let me tell you about what's actually happening, right? But then, of course, we have a very, very long legal battle in front of us. We are in an extensive amount of debt. And so if you have the means, I know that they've made it extremely hard financially by screwing up the economy, right? Please go to JeremyBrownDefense.com and give to our legal defense, because we certainly do intend to continue to fight, and it is very expensive, and they know this. Again, only if you have the means. If you don't have the means, certainly I understand. And then support the other January legal defense fund flows to our continuous. And I get it. Some people, it's not worth it for them to fight because they're not in the position I'm in. I have a very unique position in this position. They approached me, attempted to me, and then I recorded them doing it. So I'm definitely not going to let them get away with any of it. I have lots of different angles to make this story known. And so that fight is going to continue. So, yeah, those are definitely the ways that they can help. Right, that's always helpful. And then, of course, you know, you guys show up there and you stand shoulder to shoulder with us. You're with us in spirit and in prayer. And so all of these things are all helpful.
Thank you. We've been out here, we just had our 250th consecutive day out here on Freedom Corner, and now we're up to, what, 255 or something like that, yeah, for every single night out here. And, you know, the men in the DC jail have gotten visitation since we've been here and some relief of their treatment, so we're proud to say that we've been out here over 250 days.
That's awesome. And these things do matter. I mean, I was told, well, we can't move you from maximum security to where I am now, right? Really? You can't? Well, watch this. And that the American people moved. Didn't take a whole lot. Emails, a few phone calls, a few letters, a few visits from state reps who were hearing it, emails and phone calls and letters. And then the next thing you know, all of a sudden I moved now.
There you go. There you go.
So,
the impossible becomes possible.
That's right. And it doesn't take as much as you think. Like Thomas Jefferson said, it doesn't take a majority, but an irate and tireless minority keeping on setting brush fires of liberty in the soul of sin. You see, politicians are reactive. They're going to do whatever they think they need to do to get reelected.
Yes, they
so
are.
We have to let them know that we're not going anywhere. And in fact, we're going to get louder. And if you think we're loud now, when they've suppressed us and hidden things, wait until the suppression is knocked down. Wait until the lies are uncovered. And wait until the video is released. Then you're really going to hear it. Like I said, people are going to be asking, who knew and when did they know? That's what we need to keep in mind, the long game. And every single day, you just reach one more person you reached yesterday. Well, we're going to continue to grow our numbers. Before you know it, the politicians will be begging us. They'll be asking us, what can I do to help?
Some of the live streamers want to know, David, you want to ask him that question?
So I just got the question, if you have heard from the president and or any representatives, and or if you think that would help.
We are, like I said, Congressman Bill Arrakis has visited. I have spoken to the staff members from Congressman Franklin's office. I've had letters written on my behalf by Congressman Luna, as well as State Rep Jacques. But also, my mother and my girlfriend visited an event that was hosted at Mar-a-Lago, and my mother spoke with the former President Trump, and he said some kind things to her. And look, you know, he now is seeing what we've all been seeing. They're coming for you. They're coming for everyone. And so hopefully this energizes him to take a more active and more vocal stance as it applies. And now you've got Representative Jim is being sued by by the New York District Attorney. And so, look, we've been telling everybody, today us, and tomorrow you. And eventually, they're all going to see it. Right? You've got Congressman Perry that had his phone confiscated by the FBI. You've had Mike Lindell that's been harassed. At some point in time, people have got to wake up that no one is safe. You know, not pro-life activists, not school board parents. You know, who knows if they're going to come after next. But we do know one thing. They are definitely coming. And so it's better to get ahead of what's coming rather than be reactive.
Amen. Thanks, Tommy. All right, Jeremy. Well, we certainly appreciate you calling in and sharing so much information with us, and we look forward to the next time.
Of course, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. And like I said, thank you for what you're doing by gathering out there and continue to show your tireless support. As somebody on the inside, I definitely appreciate it, and I know the other political prisoners of this war are definitely appreciated as well. So keep up the good work. This fight is far from over. So Dio Presso Liber. God bless America.
God bless America, Jeremy, and God bless you and your family.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too.
Thank you for using Global Kelly.
They're going
The preacher man says it's the end of time, and the Mississippi River, she's a going dry. The interest is up and the stock market's down, and you're only getting mugged if you go downtown. I live back in the woods, you see, my woman and the kids and the dogs and me. I got a shotgun, a rifle, and a four-wheel drive, and a country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. I can plow
Can everybody hear me from there, or?
Yep, everybody on live stream and everybody that's out here can hear you. You're on the microphone.
Oh, great. Awesome. Thank you, Mickey. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to FaceTime and pray with you all from New York. There's actually quite a few people here in my living room. We're ready.
Why couldn't
Call from.
Okay, let's try that. See if I can hear you now.
Can you hear me better now?
We can.
Okay, great. So we just wanted to pray. We just wanted to pray with you tonight. There's many people here on Long Island, New York, that stand in solidarity with all of the J6 defenders, and we just ask God to keep us in prayer and continue to guide us through life, through these terrible struggles that Americans across the country are facing right now. God, please, we ask you to hear our prayer, to keep the families of the J6 defenders close to his heart. And we ask everyone here to love just one another and continue to help us and guide us through our lives right now. And we want to ensure that the Constitution is upheld every single day. So thank you. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. And everybody there. And just to let you know, if you want to watch what's going on here at night, it's you can see on Freedom Express Media, We the People MAGA, usually Glory Be, 1791 Storm.
Yeah. Oh.
And
thank you. Welcome you.
And also for those live streamers.
Great. Thank you, Vicky.
Thank you, Kate. We'll see you next time you're here.
See you next time. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Well, if you ask me where I come from, here's what I tell everyone. I was born by God's dear grace in an extraordinary place where the stars and stripes and the eagle flies. It's a big old land with countless dreams, and happiness ain't out of reach. Hard work pays off the way it should. Yeah, I've seen enough to know that we've got it good. Where the stars and the stripes and the eagle fly. There's a lady that stands in a harbor for what we believe, and there's a bell that still echoes the price that it costs to be free. I pledge allegiance to this flag. If that bothers you, well, that's too bad. But if you got pride and you're proud to do it, hey, we could use some more like me and you. Where the stars and the stripes and the eagle fly. It's the only place that I prefer to love my wife and raise my kids. Hey, the same way that my daddy did. With the stars and the stripes and the eagle flies. We're the stars and stripes and the eagle.
All right, Ridgeline, be careful. Don't forget to say your prayers and don't let the ready folks by.
Well, Nick named him Walker, tied knives to get a badge. Said I'm gonna serve my country, just like my old man. July 29th came and he was gone. A shiny town car parked on that old gravel lot. 2 uniforms on the front door, they knocked. His mama started crying. She said, "You were lying, where's my son?" So I'll take off my hat, raise up my drink to the ones that give it all for the US of A. Say a prayer for the families, Lord give them strength. There's a folded flag in a frame, and I just want to say thanks on Memorial Day. Good men, good women gave all they had. They were brothers and sisters, mothers and dads. Your sacrifice will not be in vain. So come on and help me sing. I'll take off my hat, raise up my drink to the ones that gave it all for the US of A. Say a prayer for the families, Memorial Day. On Memorial Day.
I'm gonna have to use that one, Sherry. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and do the roll call. The ones that died on January 6th. Ashley Babbitt, Roseanne Boylan, Kevin Greason, Benjamin Phillips, and the next day, Officer Brian Sicknick. Rest in peace.
Amen.
Those J6ers that are still incarcerated: John Andrews, Thomas Ballard, Roger Baugh, Joe Biggs, Aiden Billiard, Matthew Bledsoe, Tim Bogner, Nicholas Brokoff, Antoine Brodnack, Tammy Bronsberg, Jeffrey Brown, Jeremy Brown, Alan Byerly, Daniel Caldwell, Lewis Cantwell, Matthew Caspel, Jake Chansley, William Cressman, Eric Christie, Meredith Cleveland, Lonnie Kaufman, Nolan Cook, Landon Copeland, Mason Corson, Kevin Creek, Nicholas DiCarlo, David Dempsey, Lucas Denny, Charles Donahoe, Israel Easterday, Robert Fairchild, Scott Fairlamb, Troy Faulkner, Brandon Fellows, Kyle Fitzsimon, Mitchell Gardner, Robert Gieswine, Antoine Guillenette, James Grant, Matthew Green, Timothy Hale, Kenneth Harrelson, Joshua Haynes, Donald Hazard, Albuquerque Head, Andrew Hernandez, Brian Jackson, Shane Jenkins, Douglas Jensen, Justin Jersey, Cash Kelly, Julian Cater, Matthew Kroll, Jacob Lang, Nicholas Langren, Samuel Lazar, Patrick McCoffey, Marcus Malley, Christian Manley, Cody Matisse, James Malt, Mark Mazza, Ronald Maccabee, James McGrew, Sean McHugh, Jeffrey McCullough, Kelly Meggs, Jonathan Melleth, Richard Machete, Garrett Miller, Matthew Ryan Miller, Jordan Mink, Robert Moores, Jonathan Munafo, Marshall Neath, Daryl Neely, Ryan Nichols, Ethan Nordine, Nicholas Ox, Joseph Padilla, Robert Palmer, Dominic Pizzola, Mark Ponder, Christine Priola, Chris Quaglin, Barry Ramey, Guy Reffitt, Zach Reel, William Reed, Stuart Rhodes, Howard Richardson, Thomas Robertson, Daniel Rodriguez, Moses Romero, Greg Rubenacker, Jeffrey Sable, Ryan Samsel, Robert Sanford, Ronald Sandlin, Salvador Sandoval, Troy Sargent, Peter Schwartz, Christian Secor, Hunter Siegfried, Bart Shively, Jeffrey Seals, Glenn Simon, Peter Stagger, Andrew Taki, Enrique Tario, George Tenney, Devlin Thompson, Dustin Thompson, Jessica Watkins, William Watson, Matthew Webler, Thomas Webster, Jack Witten, Ricky Wilden, Anthony Williams, Duke Wilson, Kyle Young,
and those we've lost to suicide. Christopher Georgia, Matthew Perna, Mark Ungst, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
You know, every night that we're here on this corner, we're here to bring justice to those who were killed on January 6th. And let's never forget her name. Ashley Babbitt! Ashley Babbitt! Ashley Babbitt! Ashley Babbitt! Thank you, Sherry.
Okay, Jeff, you're on.
Oh, hey, thanks very much. You know, that's the first time I'd heard some of those names called, and I caught in right about maybe a third after you started. It's amazing. All those names I know, I don't know all of them, but most of them I have actually met along the way here, and it's just, it's unbelievable to think, you know, what we're going through, but more importantly, those that lost their lives that day, it's just outrageous. And, you know, even though we're confined, you know, it's worse for them, obviously, so our hearts, you know, always go out to them and we think about them often. So I'm really happy to be on the call here with you guys tonight. And I just want to start real quick by saying that your effort that you come out, you know, the time, effort, energy that you expend just to come out and support us is more than you know. And when you add in the climate changing from whatever, whether it's hot or whether it's cold or whether it's raining or whether it's snowing, you guys have been there, and that is the true patriot, and we thank you guys for that so much.
Thank you, Jeff. The unfortunate thing about our roll call list is that it's growing, because we don't even mention everybody that's been arrested or been serving their or waiting their pretrial at home. Those are strictly people that, you know, have been incarcerated and are behind bars now. You know, 826 days into this.
Yeah, and you know, the thing that's becoming more and more apparent is the double standard of how we're being treated versus all the other people on the other side. There is, as Merrick Garland likes to say, with no fear nor favor, and that is truly not the case. It really does matter who you voted for. It really does matter who you worship, and those are the things that determine whether or not you're going to be persecuted, not liberty, that's for sure.
Yeah, they definitely try the day on the calendar and not the people. We've seen it over and over and over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just heard today that there was a case where what do they do with us, but they charge us to the hilt with charges that they have to try and makeshift in and shoehorn in to have any validity whatsoever. Then they get knocked down by some judges, and then an appellate court comes and turns it over. And so the double standard is on full display here, you know, especially when now people are seeing what's happening with President Trump, how Joe Biden is the true criminal, and there's nothing to talk about, nothing to see there. So, you know, that's the most important thing is, especially for us in here, you know, there's not some one piece of news or one politician or one lawyer or whatever that's going to really get us out of the situation we're in. It's literally going to take the American people waking up and seeing what's going on in the country, and most importantly, accepting what's going on. Not accepting it as it's the way to be, but accept that it's really happening. It's taking that red pill and saying, hey, you know what? The country that we grew up in, the country that we love, is not that country right now. And the only way we can address it is admit there's a problem. So people waking up and admitting there's a problem and being able to address it is the most important thing that's going to help us. But more importantly, you know, this is about freedom. It's not about us particularly. It's about the country in general. So when we're in here, we're still for the country. It's not about ourselves, although we seem to be the figurehead of all of it. And you know, and I wear that badge proudly.
All right. Well, you know, there's some of you that do. You know, we just had Jeremy Brown call in and read his letter to the judge, and it was powerful and moving, and to know that, you know, everybody's in it to you know, just try to bring truth to light is inspiring.
Yeah, so I have my sentencing in 2 weeks. So I'll be before the judge, in a couple weeks here, and that's, my time to basically, give him the version that I'm quite certain hasn't been able to get because of the propagandists that have literally controlled the narrative for the past 2.5 years, lying about whether it was police killed, lying about whether there was 3 alphabet letter agencies involved, lying about whether we're calling us insurrectionists and domestic extremists, when if you take a look at the actual elements that occurred, especially if we just go back to the beginning of 2020 and you move forward in the timeline, you can see how we as Make America Great movement, we were very peaceful, we were very law-abiding. We stayed home and we watched everything that occurred in front of our eyes. We saw the riots, we saw the lies from the media, and we still stayed home, we're obedient, we're lawful. It wasn't until everything had been exhausted and we weren't going to have our, quote, day in court. And that's when we had to come to D.C. to make our voices be heard. And all of us came for a very peaceful day that day. And because of the infiltration and the instigation, they were able to create the narrative that they were actually looking for. So it wasn't, the way that day ended was not by chance, it was by design. And so that narrative hasn't been talked about, but fortunately, on a daily basis too, some of the trials that are going on, that narrative is starting to break through the noise. But we still got a ways to go. But like I say, the most important thing that can happen for us and the country is that the American people accept that there's a problem and know that they have to stand up. It's going to take some, I understand how, hey, people don't want to stand up because, gosh, we're going to end up like you. Well, that's where we are, unfortunately. There probably will be more arrests. But that's how it has to be. If we just stand down and don't make our voices heard and get involved, and what I mean get involved is like at the local level, get involved with your school boards, get involved with your city councils. Where ballot harvesting is legal, find out if it's legal in your state, start doing it, because we do want those laws changed, but until those laws get changed, we got to play the game that they're playing. So whatever it is that we can do to do exactly what they're doing, provided it's legal, of course, that's what we got to do until the laws can be changed to where they should have been prior to everything that they changed with the COVID emergency. Thank goodness that COVID emergency is now gone as of the day before yesterday, I believe. So we'll see what happens next.
Yeah, the COVID emergency is gone, but we still know that standards of service and conduct are still affected by the COVID. People use their inadequate actions. They still blame those on COVID. So that's just a side note. People are still, oh, COVID this and COVID slowed us down and COVID affected this. So yeah, that was a huge experiment from the government in compliance.
Yeah, and I always questioned it from day one, but so many folks still had the disbelief, or the belief, I should say, that everything that this government does is true and just and better and for the people. And it has really proven to be exactly the opposite. Up is down, left is right. A man can be a woman can be a man. What they're trying to do is break down every social construct that we have. They're trying to make you believe that a woman can be a man. And if they can do that, the most impossible thing that both science, God, and biology and everything tells us can't happen, if they can try and make us believe that, then they can make us believe anything. And that's why they're pushing that so hard, because it really is a matter of brainwashing and saying how absurd of a thing can they push us. They saw what they could do to us during the COVID. They could get us to stay home. They could get us to pull our kids out of school. They could get us to wear masks. They could get us to be afraid, stay home, take shots that are experimental. They got all that done. So what's the next step? I mean, that is the next step, moving on.
Yeah, seeing if they can get us to chop our children's parts off.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, it
is a crazy place if you think about, you know, give me 2019 back and let's start from there. Boy, it's only a few years ago. Give me 2019.
That would be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
If you had a time machine.
You have 1 minute remaining.
We could be fixing all kinds of shit with a time machine.
That's right.
Yeah. We're not asking to go back to the 90s or the early 2000s. Just give us 4 years ago. So, hey, we're about to buzz out on our time here. So, again, I want to thank you so much. And this is for me and everybody in here. Your support outside is so important. And we love it and cherish it. And thank you so much for that.
Love you!
Sherry says we love you.
Right.
We all do. And we'll talk to you in a couple minutes for the national anthem.
Okay, you got it.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. Bye.
Shut your mouth, get in line, just behave or pay the fine. They're pulling on your backbone and taking out your spine. They want you weak, don't speak, don't question, don't think. Keep staring at your smartphone, get dumber every week. Now give up your freedom and shush. Oh Jesus, what happened to us? Church, kill your faith, judge the skin and line to hate. Make yourself the enemy, but call yourself a saint. Learn the rules, be a fool. Remove your kid from school and apologize for everything. Apologize for you. Now give the TV all of your trust. Oh Jesus, what happened to us? Mark, Jack, Bill, Joe, they'll tell you what you need to know. They'll give you your permissions and tell you where to go. Lights, camera, action, edit. We're so pathetic. You believe it cause you watched it. You believe it cause they said it. Now everybody stay home and rust. Oh Jesus, what happened to us? Get in line, just behave or pay the fine. They're pulling on your backbone and taking out your spine. They want you weak, don't speak, don't question, don't think. Keep staring at your
Okay, yo, we have John Haynes on the phone. He's an amazing American patriot from Northern Neck. He's been active in going after the Northern Neck jail board, and he has also been very helpful in getting our J6ers out of Northern Neck, and they still continue to advocate for the prisoners inside that jail. So we have the American Beast, the editor and publisher of Northern Neck Sentinel on the phone, Mr. John Haynes.
John!
Hey, John.
All right, I'm calling in from the Northern Neck just to let you know that we're all still fighting for you. A bunch of our representatives of the Northern Neck Patriots met with one of the jail board members yesterday, and I think it was real positive. On the other side, the Gloucester meeting had, the Gloucester is where they had the jail board meeting this time. I couldn't go there, but I talked to someone who was there, and the victim, the mother of one of the inmates, he's not a J6er, but he's been terribly abused. And she was at the meeting, and she tried to give him some papers, and they refused them. Then she got up to speak in public comment, and they told her she was not allowed to speak. So, as bad as that sounds, I can tell you they're panicking. We've just uncovered some more information.
Thank you, Glory.
The Northern Net Patriots just did another Freedom of Information Act request, and I can tell they're really starting to sweat it.
Yeah, thank you, Lala.
Luckily, and we're sending our information directly to him. We're also working with the Trump campaign, so we're getting a lot of visibility to get you guys out of there.
Yeah, miss you tonight.
And you know, as you all know, Mickey's been tireless, not only advocating for you, but harassing me, of course. But anyway, I just want to let you know we're making a lot of progress out here. I think we're going to find more things that will be helpful, and of course we'll pass them along to Mickey right away. I'm going to be on Cowboy Logic. I believe I'm taping it this Sunday, but I'm not sure if it's going to be live or what. But as soon as I get the details, I'll send them to Mickey. But anyway, unless you have any questions, I just want to tell you how much we love you guys and how much we respect Mickey and Nicole and all you superstars out there. I'll tell you what, I just hold you in the highest regard.
Likewise.
So anyway,
Likewise, Mr. Haynes. Thank you so much for your bravery and all you do, because I know that, you know, you've taken on some pretty big names and been tireless in your efforts. So I admire you and appreciate you.
Yeah. I was kind of hurt. I have not. I've been giving the FBI a lot of publicity, and not one of those jerks has even thanked me. So.
Man, such an ungrateful bunch, for sure.
Yeah, I can't imagine. You know, they're paying all these liberal stations to do their propaganda, and I give them free coverage, and they won't give me the time of day. I mean, what's the guy to think?
What are you to think?
So anyway, but look, keep up the good work. We're not going anywhere. We're going to be fighting with you guys all the way, and we're going to win.
Yes, we are. Thank you, Mr. Haynes. We'll talk to you soon and hopefully see you soon.
Thank you, sir. All right. God bless all of you.
All right. God bless you, too.
Oh, David.
I just want to give everybody an update on Bart Shively. Because of you, your phone calls, your letters, and the people working behind the scenes for Bart was taken to the VA hospital yesterday and given a scan. That scan did indicate that it is a cancerous spot, but that it is localized to that area. He will be receiving radiation every single day starting at the last week of this month for 6 weeks. So please keep him in your prayers. And also, he was to have a status hearing today with his new judge. That trial did not take, well, let's just say it will be continued. We don't have any additional information on that. We know that it did not happen today. So please keep praying for Bart. He definitely needs our prayers. And one other thing I want to make sure everybody is aware of. There is a J6 hotline out there. It is for J6ers, family members, and friends. If you're having a hard time dealing, give them a call. If you need resources for paperwork or letters, things like that, give them a call. That phone number is 833-SAVED-J6. 833-SAVED-J6.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Hey, all right. So, how's your evening out there?
Well, pretty good. We've had pretty good timing, a lot of phone calls, and I know you guys tried to call a couple times. Jeremy Brown called in, and we were talking with Kate, who prayed with us, and then we just had Mr. John Haynes from the Northern Neck Sentinel call. So you guys, it was perfect timing, and the weather's good, and we have nobody across the street screaming at us. We almost missed them. No, we don't.
No. Almost. All right. Well, we got about 4 minutes for the anthem. The only topic that I'm going to bring up is that I had heard that on the War Room today, with Steve Bannon, I had heard that Julie Kelly was on, and that they had discussed the fact that General Milley had resigned, and that there seems to be something with the DOD, Department of Defense, having some kind of hand in the orchestration of January 6th. I don't know if you guys have heard anything about that yet, or what you can tell me.
Tommy Tatum watched it. He's got something to say right now.
Yeah, I actually watched that, and so I texted Julie Kelly in the commercial break, and everybody can look this up. There's an article in the Politico from a D.C. National Guard head who said his bosses absolutely lied to Congress and the Justice Committee about what happened on January 6th. So they're just now getting to it. A lot of us have known this for a long time, but the military was involved. They used the military.
Right, hold on.
3 minutes, yes.
What was that in? You said that was in Politico?
Yes, if you wanted to look it up, just look up D.C. Guard January 6th and lied to Congress.
Okay. You mean like Google it, or you mean like... Is Tommy Tatum there?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, okay, that's you. Okay, do me a favor then. This is Jeff Sable, so do me a favor. Can you email me that link?
Yeah, we'll get to you. David's here, so we'll get to you one way or the other. I got a new phone. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought I was talking to David, not Tommy. My bad. It's the phone, the deer.
We'll get to you. It's an article about a year old, but it's very fascinating.
Okay, yeah, if you could send that to me, that'd be wonderful, because I'll try and read my lawyer every single little thing I can. But the thing is, if that's a year old, and we're just hearing about it right now,
That's the case with so many things, though.
I'm sorry, say it again?
I was saying this information, that's the case with so many things, is, things that we've known for a year and a half are just now coming to light for other people. So I guess we take that as an aggravating win, because, we wish they'd have looked a little sooner, but at least now they're poking around.
Right, and I don't know, it seems to me like the timing of all this, I mean, I'm hearing grumblings from people, things from people in here that, we got something big coming tomorrow and or Monday. I don't know what that means, but they're like, come on, what? And they're like, well, our sources, as they say, just say that there's good stuff coming. I'm like, well, we've been hearing that for 2 years. I mean, there comes a point where we're like, what? So, anyway, so, as far as this stuff with Millie, 1 minute! So, anyways, it's good stuff, and hopefully, with Julie Kelly bringing something light that,
On Milley himself, I think Milley committed treason on January 6th because he's running around calling China up, telling them he won't let Trump do whatever he's doing. So I think that this is just the very beginnings of the story unraveling on them.
Yeah, I remember hearing that he called up China, and I'm like, that's treason. They even talked about it back then. You know what I mean? That's when Trump was still in office. So, all right, let me get the fellas here ready to go. Hold on here.
It's already synced, right? Okay.
right. Alrighty. So yeah, to get back to it, the thing about Millie is extremely important. Some people are like, look at the timing. I'm like, all right, timing of what? And they're like, well, it matches whatever their predictions are. I said, okay. We'll see where things go. I do know that Monday is Patriots Day, which I think I mentioned before. But that's based upon the battle at Lexington and Concord. I believe it was actually on April 19th, but it was a Monday. And from the research that I have done, Patriots Day is on the third Monday of April. So it's like Thanksgiving. It moves around a little bit. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, third Monday of April. It's just it's all so new to me. But now I'm just saying it out loud, so hopefully I'll remember the third Monday of April is Patriots Day.
Yeah, and apparently it's a Massachusetts/New England holiday, but on the calendar, because I grew up in upstate New York, on the calendar that's talking to people back in my neck of the woods where I used to live, that it's on the calendar there as well. So it's not just New England, it's more of the northeastern or eastern United States that has celebrated that in the past. They actually used to have parades
on the window.
Back in the day.
Yeah, oh, he sure is.
Anyways, just a little bit of history for you.
Lights.
All right. Well, we appreciate your nuggets of history and trivia.
Okay.
I know I'm being serious. It's interesting. So, you get these little tidbits of information. I like them.
Yeah.
It's helpful.
It is fascinating.
Makes us well-rounded individuals.
Yeah. History's good.
Funny.
What else? Now we're just winding down the evening here for anybody that's listening out there. And we got people putting stuff in the microwave, cooking up everything from soup to noodles to whatever was in their tray or they've been saving up. We got some guys checking out the TV here, seeing what's on. Or, it's the same old thing every day, every night, same thing. A couple guys on the phone, we got a couple guys in the little TV room, we got the medical car here, that's someone that, passes out meds in the evening, whoever takes those. Me personally, I'm going to head back to my office, as I call it. I don't like to call it my cell, that sounds so degrading.
Yeah, restrictive.
So I'm going to head back to my office. Go ahead.
It sounds restrictive.
Yes.
Yeah. Freedom's a state of mind, I guess, and a pair of handcuffs and a key, apparently.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I haven't been in handcuffs in, at least 3 weeks. Maybe.
Well,
3
weeks.
When I was in the hole. Yeah. When I was in the hole, I had me in handcuffs pretty much, quite a lot. I mean, you can only leave the hole to go to the shower, and even then you're in handcuffs to go to the shower. But
do I?
anyways, so enough of that.
We want to know. Well, inquiring minds out here want to know, Rajay, how do you shower in handcuffs?
Rajay is here.
Well, the old joke is, very carefully.
Very carefully.
What you do is, when you're in the hole, you have to open the slot in the door.
They don't like this word. The creative left, they don't like it. I put this is good noise here. Can you see it right? I couldn't see.
But believe it or not, I've been in here so long that the COs rotate, that some of the COs
because don't you?
and we'd sit there and BS for a while. And I'd be like, hey, anybody get a shower? And they're like, yeah, hold on, and they make it happen. You know what I mean? Because a lot of them there are some nice guys here. You know what I mean? They're just doing their job. They don't understand politics. Some of them, are from Kenya or a lot of places in Africa that are just they're good people, good folk. There really are some good people here.
That's good to know.
Yeah. What else? I don't know. Give me a question or two. I'll try to throw something at you.
Anybody got a question?
What's his favorite meal?
Oh, Tammy wants to know what your favorite meal is. People are curious about your food.
Okay, the food in here, my favorite meal, honestly, is the one I make, which is fish bits and rice with soy sauce.
Fish bits and rice with soy sauce.
Yeah, so the fish bits, there are 4 or 5 kinds of fish bits. You got shredded tuna, you got shredded salmon, both of them are excellent. You've also got mackerel by itself, which is pretty rough. You've got mackerel in
I'm going to turn it off.
green chili, which is really good. But
we'll see you all tomorrow.
Give you heartburn and try to go to bed after eating that. And then you also have the mackerel in Louisiana hot sauce. And they come with like a packet. I don't know how many ounces or whatever, but it's a serving. And the fish, other than the tuna flakes and the salmon flakes, all the mackerel does have the skin still on it. Like I said before, they're not deboned, but the bones are so small you just chew it all. You put it with rice. You mix in whatever you can. If you got a tray from earlier in the day that might have some veggies in it. Like tonight there were 2 different trays. There's a cardiac tray and there's a regular tray. The cardiac tray had I think it was a chicken patty with beans, apple slices, and the broccoli. I think it's steamed a bit, but it could be that it was just steamed more like 2 hours worth. I don't know.
So I have a couple more questions for you.
Sure.
Somebody wants to know if you are able to request clergy, and then real inquiring minds want to know what you guys are watching now that The Bachelor's over.
As far as The Bachelor goes, it's not my cup of tea. I don't watch that.
You have
Somebody in there admitted,
remaining.
somebody in there admitted to watching The Bachelor, so I don't know who that is.
One person? You kidding me? Oh no, there's a whole gaggle of them that watch it. And I'll bust their balls too, bust their chops about it too. And I'm like, oh, you guys aren't gonna do well in prison. No, you're not good at all.
As long as there's enough, there's safety in numbers. And then how about, we're about to get cut off, but we do want to know if you're able to request clergy.
I think if you have a special request that you can see them if there's some kind of, dare I say, biblical emergency, like you need to talk to somebody now.
Right.
But as far as clergy goes, we have a pastor come in here every other Saturday, and he is excellent. But it's every week. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being out there. Thank you for being tough, strong. God bless you, and God bless America.
God bless you, and God bless America. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night, Jeff.
Intro, please.
I'll remind him. Tommy, info. Don't forget. Where's Tommy? Right here.
I got it.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and I. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from the sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
No doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. USA, USA, USA. Wow, tonight is very nice. Thank you for all your patriots and support.
We'll see you all down here again tomorrow. You guys have a great night and be safe.
Yes. All right. Thank you, David. Thank you, Lala, Maggie. Our patriots, Janice. Let me see. Mama Jane. Right in the dark. Valerie Thomas. Debbie. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you. J. John. Sunshine. Thank you for all you patriots support us through whole night. Thank you so much. We'll never give up. We stay together. Stay strong. We will bring this country back. Yes. Thank you, J. Janice. Yeah.
Down by the river in the full moonlight, we'll be falling in love in the middle of the night, just moving slow. Staying the whole night through. It feels so good to be with you. Spring is almost over and the summer's come and the days are getting long. Waited all winter for the time to do right, just to take you along. Baby, get ready.
Come to pick up the stuff.
It don't matter if we sit for weather and the fish
我就把车拿来，那好像车可以开过来了，可以开车过来了，我开车过来了，装东西。
Oh, I'll take that. Okay, I'll take
You and me go fishing in the dark, lying on our backs and counting the stars where the cool grass grows. Down by the river in the full moonlight, we'll be falling in love in the middle of the night, just moving slow.
Keep that unruly banner under control. Hey, Ming.
Yeah, they're pulling Tammy's truck.
Tammy's coming.
Yeah. Where's her?
Well, can't say that because it won't bring it anywhere. Bring it. I guess the cops had to go with whatever all that's going on.
Bye, Greg. Bye, Sharon. Bye, you guys. Bye, y'all. I know. I did it wrong fast. Yeah.
If they can get away with it, they'll want it to run concurrent and not consecutive. Maybe it needs someone who knows. Right.
这个我就可以 turn off 了。Okay.
Yeah, I love the space.
Yes, we can. We finished the live stream here. Oh, watch out. Yeah. So, thank you so much for the 2 pages. Thank you. God bless you all. Yeah, tonight we can see if we can bring our car. Come in. The policeman off.
排排呀！
所有的那个警察都跑掉了。呀，我可以 turn off 在这个地方了 ，stop 在这个地方。Okay, thank you, love you, pages. See you tomorrow night.